Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Light Sports Ramble. As always, my pleasure to come to you this evening, and it is a beautiful Friday night in Pittsburgh. And so, with that said, let's get into tonight's show. Everybody knows it's Friday. That means the upset episode is coming your way. And I hope everybody had a chance to listen to last night's episode with my co-host, Evan Watallison. I love Thursday nights with Evan. Him and I could just ramble about Packers and sports for hours upon hours upon hours. And I just want to fill you guys in. I don't just call him up and we get right on the Red Light Sports Ramble. I give him a call and we do what's kind of a pre-ramble. We just chat about some of the things that we think we should talk about. And if we actually tried to talk about everything that we discuss, that show would probably be about 3 hours long. There are so many intrinsic things that Evan and I talk about, and I just love chatting with him. He's a wealth of knowledge. Him and I get along really well, and we're usually on the same page with what we're seeing. And I just love chatting with him on Thursday nights. And before I get into the ramble tonight, I'm going to throw something out, and honest opinions are great. I love honesty from people. It's all I ever expect from my staff. And in life, just be honest. And so, maybe I do overdo it a bit when I repost the Red Light Sports Ramble. And I understand it goes to everyone's timeline that's following me. But this wasn't even a follower. Because I was going to say, if you're a follower and you don't like the ramble, I'm not going to be mad if you unfollow me. I'm not on Twitter to try and get 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers. I could care less. The people who follow me that I interact with, I enjoy their time. Anyway, when I do this, every once in a while, it will come up with those that are similar and people maybe that you would like to follow. And so this morning, when I got done tweeting out the link to those listeners that actually do listen to it, I saw a couple of Packer fans on there. So I thought I was being nice. And I tweeted them the Red Light Sports Ramble with Evan and myself. And I got a reply back. Spam is not cool. And I'm like, dude, it's not spam. And then he tweets back. Looking at your timeline, yes, it's spam. And I didn't even, at that point, I just tweeted back, you have your opinion, have a great day, go Pack go. I'm not getting into a fight over what I tweet. But I guess where I come from is I do have a compassionate side. And maybe I overdo it a bit when I tweet out the link to the Red Light Sports Ramble. But I also feel that some people really do enjoy it. And the link gets lost in my timeline. I know on a number of occasions, people have said, well, send me the link, send me the link. And so I figured those people I know that listen to it, I'll send it to them. But those that listen, that are following me on Twitter, just let me know. Am I overdoing it when I post the link for the Red Light Sports Ramble? And again, either way, I just want people to be honest with me. Because I'm not in it for a popularity game. I'm not in it for people to like me. And if I give you words of wisdom on a Friday night, here it is. My mother, God rest her soul. She's not been with me for a long time. But growing up, I came home from school one day and I was almost in tears because people were teasing me. And I believe I was 5th grade or so. And my mom sat me down. And my mom looked me in the eye. And she said, Troy, I'm going to tell you something. If someone doesn't like you, who really cares? Like yourself first and be yourself. If people like you, then they will be your friends. If they don't like you, who cares? Don't waste your time with them. And I've always now followed that advice from my mother. At the time, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But now as I get older, it makes a lot of sense. I don't care how many followers I have. I don't care how many people like me. I know who likes me. And the people that like me, I appreciate it. And so, again, I just wanted to throw that out. I thought it, this morning actually made me laugh. Actually made my day. I was like, hey, this is great. Awesome. Your opinion, my opinion. But let's move on. I got a good 10 minutes to talk about the upset episode tonight. Will the Colts and the Broncos be one of my 4 upset picks? And of course, I'm going to save it till the end. I'm going to keep you in suspense. I can't throw that out right away if that is one of them. But as always, to recap, the upset, I take it off the ESPN Power Rankings. If the team is ranked lower than another team, and I pick them to win, that's how I consider it an upset. And so for the year, not too bad, 14-12, just over 50%. So when I give you my 4 upsets tonight, 2 of them will probably be right. And so for the fans of those teams that I am predicting you're going to get upset, you're probably hoping that you're one of the 2. So let's get right into it. And I do have, again, probably 2 toss-up games out of the 4 that can go either way. And once again on Friday, the Lions are involved in one. The Bengals at the Lions. The Lions come in ranked 11th in the power rankings. The Bengals come in at 8. And I think the Lions at home have an opportunity to beat the Bengals. And it's for a couple of different reasons. That Lions defense is creating turnovers this year. And they're doing it with a pass rush. And when you can get pressure on the quarterback, you can force turnovers. I believe right now they're ranked 4th in the league in turnovers. But even on top of that, when they get the turnovers, the offense is converting that into points. That's why the Lions are off to such a great start, and that's why the Lions actually scare me. As a Packer fan, the Lions are the team I'm worried about in the division. I know we beat them once, but I think the Lions have a legitimate chance to really compete with the Packers for the division title. They're also getting Foria involved as a tight end. And as I was going over the recaps, the Bengals have had problems stopping the tight end in the red zone. So, if the Lions are going to utilize him, it could be a long day for Cincinnati. And I think Calvin Johnson is also getting better from that knee injury. So now you've got 2 weapons to worry about defensively. And the Bengals are good on defense. Don't get me wrong. And I know they're 4-2 and in first place. But to me, Andy Dalton has been very inconsistent. And if he remains inconsistent against a defense that can force turnovers, I think it could be a long day for Cincinnati at Detroit. So I'm taking Detroit in that game. The next upset pick that I have is the Jets over the Patriots. Yes, I'm taking the Jets over the Patriots. The Patriots' injury list is about as long as the Packers. Will Fork's not playing. Mayo's not playing. Talib is out. And the status of Amendola is still up in the air. Plus, one of their best guards, Connolly, had a concussion also, and he may not be able to play. That is trouble. Because if they get pressure on Brady, where's he going with the ball? But I'm not so worried about the offense with the Patriots as I am that defense. Probably an unsung hero in that Jets offense, which is not great. I think it's an average to mediocre offense. But Blair Powell is running enough to keep teams honest, to take some of the pressure off Geno Smith. And I think Geno Smith has a lot of learning to do. But I think if they can establish the run game, and with Will Fork and Mayo out, Powell should be able to have a big game. So what I'm thinking I'm seeing in this game is a grinded out game from the Jets to try and take the ball out of Geno's hand and keep Brady on the sideline. And if they can do that, I think they have a good chance to win. And the Jets are very solid on defense. And I just think that this is probably what the Jets offense needed. A banged up Patriot defense to do enough to get a win. And I think it might be an ugly win, but as Evan and I have said on Thursday nights, a win is a win. Doesn't matter if it's pretty, doesn't matter if it's ugly. And so I think the Jets beat the Patriots at home. My third upset pick, and this is another toss-up game, because we're talking about a 31 ranked team and a 29th ranked team. It's the Vikings at the Giants. I mean, literally, let's just flip a coin here. Just flip it in the air, and maybe we take the best of 10, because both teams suck right now. But I did pick an upset. I am picking the Giants to get their first victory on Monday night against the Vikings at home. I know Manning has thrown 15 interceptions. I know he's got the third worst passer rating in the league. But the Vikings' pass defense is ranked 29th. Something's got to give with these two crappy teams right now. I'm not worried about how horrid the Giant defense is, because the Vikings trade for a quarterback and they start him this week. Freeman is getting the start. Where does that tell you where the status of your franchise is? All right, not a trade, but a free agent pickup. Where does it tell you where your team is at this point? In disarray. And so what I'm seeing is the Giants have an opportunity with this Vikings defense being as horrid as it is against a new quarterback for the Vikings. They have to worry about Adrian Peterson, yes, but I think the Giants win on Monday night. I think this is what that offense needed to be able to get back on track. And so, with that said, folks, my last pick of the week. Is it the Colts over the Broncos? No, I took the Broncos in a close one. My last upset pick, though, is the Steelers over the Ravens. I think the Ravens are not the Ravens we saw last year. There's questions on that offensive line. That running game that was once so powerful that I actually thought would carry them this year has not been so good. Under 50 yards the last 2 weeks. And it's just not there. They have the second worst yards per carry in the league. Only Jacksonville is worse. That's got to tell you something right there. That you have a pretty horrid run game. And I think the Steelers defensively will be able to capitalize on that, because I'm okay with the Steeler offense. And I think they're going to be able to do enough. And the game is in Pittsburgh, even though I know Baltimore has fared very well in Pittsburgh as of late. But I think Pittsburgh is coming off an emotional high, getting back on track. The Ravens just got physically beat by the Packers. And I think they go to Pittsburgh, can't run the ball again, and Pittsburgh comes away with the win. So with that said, folks, there are my four upset picks. I got the Jets, the Lions, the Steelers, and the Giants all winning this week. I'll see you at the next red light. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon.